What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over my stock pick of the week. This week we're going to talk about NIO. As you may know, NIO is a Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer. So they would be the Chinese Tesla, you could say. They are a growing company. They are a very, very popular company in many different millennial and new age kind of investing groups, the kind of EV investing, green age kind of, sustainable investors. NIO is probably one of their bigger stocks. It's also been on a nice rally over the past year. So let's get into the company and let's talk about why they may be a good company. Let's talk about their earnings release that they just put out over the past few days. And let's kind of go over some price levels to see where we should be looking to maybe buy, or where we should be looking to sell, or where we should see NIO maybe going in the next few weeks or few months or few years. So initially, like I said, NIO is a Chinese EV manufacturer. So here they're giving a press conference in Oslo tomorrow. So this is their Hello Norway conference, and they're going to be kind of rolling out a lot of their vehicles, showing kind of the European market, their kind of flagship vehicles and their sedans, their coupes, their all-around SUVs, and their flagship SUVs, as well as their what would be their kind of sports model, the NIO EP9, which is like their Ferrari look-alike, one of the fastest electric cars in the world, as they claim. So this is a video of them kind of showing you the speed of this kind of NIO EP9, fastest car electric vehicle on the market, showing you the kind of speeds that you can get in this kind of a vehicle, showing that you're not sacrificing power for an EV car, right? You're not sacrificing that kind of durability or that torque or that kind of speed that you can get from a gas-powered vehicle. You can get the same thing from one of these NIO, sport, what you probably call it like a sport car, right? So that's it there, kind of born to push the limits. You can see it kind of looks like a Ferrari, and it's probably pushing, upwards of 200 kilometers an hour. So that is their kind of flagship sports vehicle, and they promise that there's a more brighter, positive, sustainable future coming. Blue sky ahead. Blue sky is coming, as they say, their kind of motto. So they're pushing that kind of green solution, that kind of replacement for the greenhouse gas emission vehicles. And down here they just show you their kind of endless things that they have, either for their house. I don't really know what this is here, but these are their charging services and obviously their vehicle manufacturing services. So let's see what this is for their NIO house. I don't really know what it is. Okay, so this seems to be like a, I guess they're putting money into maybe building these kind of different facilities for people to explore, these joy camps for kids to go to, NIO cafes, for basically things for people to get people into the kind of EV and kind of sustainable understanding, a space for NIO's users and friends, a joyful lifestyle beyond the car. So it's creating a lifestyle that's more than just the vehicle, right? This is what they're trying to do with the company, and this is their kind of company profile vision. Unfortunately, they don't have an investor presentation, so I can't kind of go over their overall kind of investor presentation. Obviously, I showed you their vehicles and kind of what they do as a company, but here is their kind of overall company profile. So as it says, NIO is a Chinese pioneer in premium electric vehicle manufacturing. We design, jointly manufacture, and sell smart and connected premium electric vehicles, driving innovations in next-generation technologies in connectivity, autonomous driving, and artificial intelligence. Redefining user experience, we provide users with comprehensive, convenient, and innovative charging solutions and other user-centric service offerings. NIO's Chinese name, Weile, which means blue sky coming, reflects our vision and commitment to a more environmentally friendly future. So as like I said before, their kind of motto, this blue sky coming, is actually the in reference to their Chinese name, which means blue sky coming. The first model we developed was the EP9 supercar. So that was the one I showed you, that sports car. Combined with an attractive design and strong driving performance, the EP9 delivers extraordinary acceleration and best-in-class electric powertrain technology, helping position us as a premium brand. So this is the thing, right? It's not just, you're not sacrificing power for EV, over a gas-powered vehicle. We launched our first volume manufactured electric vehicle, the ES8, to the public at our NIO Day event on December 16th, 2017, and began making deliveries from June 28th to June 28th, 2018. The S8 is a 7-seater all-aluminum alloy body premium electric SUV that offers exceptional performance, functionality, and mobile lifestyle. NIO officially launched the ES6, a 5-seater high-performance premium electric SUV, in December 2018 and began the first deliveries of ES6 in June 2019. As a pioneer in automotive smart connectivity and enhanced level 2 autonomous driving, Nomi, which we believe is one of the most advanced in-car AI assistants developed by a Chinese company, is a voice-activated AI digital companion that personalizes the user's driving experience. It's interesting that they say here by a Chinese company, because basically they're admitting that their AI assistant is not as developed as Tesla's, because that would be the only really U.S. manufacturer that would be able to, I guess maybe you could say Fisker, but really, like, in terms of overall performance and what they have for the company's offerings, I would say that NIO has the better offering. So, but anyway, they, claim they have the best AI assistants developed by a Chinese company. So obviously, they're very, very good in terms of their AI assistants. We offer comprehensive value-added services and convenient innovation suite of charging solutions to our users. These solutions include Power Home, our home charging solution, Power Swap, our innovative battery swapping service, Power Mobile, our mobile charging service to charging trucks, and Power Express, our 24-hour on-demand pickup and drop-off charging service. We believe these solutions and services together will create a holistic user experience throughout the vehicle life cycle. So that's interesting. So basically, they're offering like I guess charging trucks that will drive around and actually allow people to charge their vehicles from these trucks, so they don't have to have an actual setup for an EV charging in your house. Like, Teslas run, like, I don't know, hundreds if not thousands of dollars to set up these EV charging stations at your house. So a lot of people just go to the ones that are provided. But if they're offering kind of a I guess a delivery charge, and then that's kind of interesting, right? We sell our vehicles through our own sales network, including NIO Houses and our mobile application. NIO Houses are not only the showrooms for our vehicles, but also clubhouses for our users with multiple social functions. Like I was showing you, the cafes, the joy camps, the overall kind of idea that it's more of a lifestyle than a brand, right? Or a company, right? Our mobile application fosters a dynamic and interactive online platform. We believe our online and offline integrated community will retain user engagement and cultivate loyalty to our brand, along with other successful branding activities such as our annual NIO Day and our championship-winning Formula E team, along with their Norway Day, right? Their Hello Norway. They're doing these all over the world to kind of showcase their products throughout different continents, right? At NIO, we envision a future where improved smart electric car technologies coupled with the battery car ownership experience will drive increased appreciation and adoption of smart electric cars, leading to a more sustainable future for the planet. So, like I said, that's kind of the overall outlook of the company. That's kind of where they've come from, where they're focusing their strategies, their kind of marketing. Like I said, it's more marketing a lifestyle rather than a vehicle. Offering different types of charging solutions, delivery charge, different types of services that allow you to kind of have multiple functionalities, as well as a wide variety of vehicles, from a sports car to an SUV to a regular coupe or sedan. So these give people versatility, but they also give people the kind of performance that they need versus the kind of size or style, whether you're a soccer mom or whether you're a sport car driver. You want to have a fast car, you buy the EP9. You want to have a SUV that's safe, and then for your family to fit into, then you would go with the SUV, right? So this here is talking about the earnings report. So NIO reported earnings last week. So this is kind of talking about what happened with these earnings, and like he said here, like, NIO missed big on earnings, but they beat on revenue. So let's kind of go into that real quick, and let's talk about their kind of how many deliveries they've made for vehicles in the past quarter, and where we kind of see this ramping up or where we see there's problems maybe. So the key takeaways from this, and this is kind of the main things you're going to get out of this report, but we'll go over them real quick because they're kind of the main things to think about, and that is that NIO delivered a record 20,060 vehicles in the first quarter, just narrowly missing analyst estimates. So analysts had estimated that they would sell like these 20,000 to 7, so basically 10 cars. They missed the estimate by 10 cars, right? So that right there is an interesting aspect to look at, right? Because it's like 20,000 vehicles in one quarter is a lot. And this is up substantially from year over year margin. So that's something we'll talk about, but something to keep in mind, right? So vehicle deliveries provide an indication of demand for NIO's main source of revenue as well as the company's productive capacity. So this is telling you that this demand is indicative that not only are they meeting the demand that there is being asked of them, but that there is increasing demand year over year, quarter over quarter, so that they are ramping up their production and able to meet it. Like I said, like this shows that their main source of revenue, which is their vehicle manufacturing, it's not like Tesla where they're making more money on Bitcoin than they are on selling vehicles, right? This is a company that's actually able to make substantial amount of money from selling vehicles, and many of these are being sold in China, and this is why it's a growing market, because think about the Chinese market. It's one of the largest markets in the world, and if it's looking to become more greenhouse gas friendly, more sustainable, and then NIO is going to be one of those main companies that's going to drive this growth. So we're talking about billions of people living in China, and this is the market that they're looking at, as well as obviously in Norway and throughout the world as they're expanding their kind of market share, right? But anyway, the biggest issue for NIO, and this is one of the main reasons why there's a lot of people down on the stock right now, and not just the whole EV sector in general, right, is this right here, and that's the global semiconductor shortage poses significant challenges to NIO's supply chain. So basically there's an overall market shortage for semiconductors, for microchips. So different processors, from AMD to whoever, Intel or Chinese manufacturers, Samsung, or whoever are creating these semiconductor microchips, MU, wherever, NVIDIA, there's hundreds of companies. Anyway, they're all running into shortages from issues with acquiring materials to produce these semiconductors, plus with the rise in technology from Bitcoin to Ethereum mining to different types of, EVs to sun-powered conductors, there's an increase demand for microchips, especially with the pandemic and everything going online. There's a huge demand for microchips, and this is creating a big problem for a lot of these EV manufacturers because they rely on these microchips. Like I said, NIO claims to have the best AI assisted platform or product on the market, and this is something that requires a lot of semiconductors as well as their batteries and their basically everything that helps the car run. It's an electric vehicle. It runs on electric circuits, which are powered by semiconductors, which need to have a steady supply. So when that supply chain is impacted, you're going to have problems. And that's what, that's the big problem right now for NIO. And this is why the stock's getting beaten down. It's not necessarily because of this earnings report. Although, let's go over this earnings report real quick. NIO reported mixed results in its Q1 FY 2020 earnings report. So the first quarter from 2021, the company posted a loss per ADS, so per share, more than 4 times larger than the analyst estimate. So up here you can go and see that the analysts estimated they would lose about 72 cents per share, but they actually lost about $3.14 per share, or yuan per share. So that's quite a bit higher than what they would have wanted, right? But let's put this into consideration. NIO stock is up, like they said, 980% over the past year. So, or they provided a total return of that. So just take that into consideration, right? Like we're talking about a company that, it's, like Tesla, its stock price is trading a lot higher than its valuation, not like right now, not because that there won't be this demand and this kind of growth in the future that people are predicting, which is getting priced in, but that a lot of these companies have already seen huge rises in their share prices, which means that they kind of are being overvalued. So when they do come out with these earnings reports that kind of don't meet their estimates, it's like, well, guys, think about how much the stock's price has gone up over the past year. And it's like, yeah, sure, they missed on their earnings per share, but when your stock price is trading maybe 10 times higher than what it should be in terms of value, it makes sense, at least to me. But this is all kind of balanced out by the fact that although they missed on the analyst estimates for their earnings per share, their revenue actually rose 481% year over year. So, and this beat analyst estimates, right? And you can see up here that instead of the 7.5 billion that they had estimated, they made 8 billion. So this is 0.5 billion, so 500 million yuan more than what they had estimated. So that right there just shows you that, yeah, sure, they didn't meet their earnings per share, but they blew the revenue out of the water, which meant that they're making tons of money, and that's growing year over year by exponential rates. So NIO's vehicle deliveries, which were reported earlier this month, came in at 20,060 for the quarter, narrowly missing what the analyst estimate. The company shares were down 0.5%, trading after hours after NIO posted these earnings releases. Over the past year, NIO shares have provided a total return of 980%, well above the S&P 500's total return of 43%. NIO vehicle deliveries. Most of NIO's revenue is generated through the sale of vehicles. The company currently delivers three types of models: the ES8, the company's six-seater; the ES6, the company's five-seater high-performance SUV; and the EC6, the company's five-seater premium electric coupe SUV. The number of vehicle deliveries provide an indication of the demand for NIO's vehicles, as well as the company's ability to scale production. Like I said up there, right, just shows that there's a demand and they're able to meet that demand. So NIO's vehicle deliveries rose 422% compared to the year over year report, so marking the fastest pace of growth since Q2 2019, right? So basically in the last 2 years, this last quarter has shown the largest growth of any quarter in the company's history. The vehicle sales for the quarter were 7.4 billion, up 489% from 3 months ago. The company attributed the higher vehicle sales to higher deliveries and higher average selling prices. These factors, as well as lower material costs, helped push NIO's vehicle margin to 21.2% compared to minus 7.4% a year ago. Vehicle margin is a measure of profitability. When vehicle margin is higher, it means more vehicle sales are being generated relative to the cost of making those vehicles, right? So when you sell more cars, you're able to make more money from selling those cars because you get those products necessarily for cheaper because you're buying, like it's just like any scale, right? The more you buy, the cheaper you get it. So then the more you're able to manufacture for a better price, or at least make more from those products. NIO said that the demand for its products remains strong, but its supply chain faces significant challenges as a result of the global semiconductor shortage. And this is, like I said earlier, in late March, the company halted production for 5 days at one of its plants in Haifa due to the chip shortage. So Chairman William Lee referred to a fire that took place in March at a Japanese chip factory owned by Renesas Electronic Corp., which was exacerbating the shortage. He said that the impact of the fire would hit the automobile supply chain in mid-May. However, Lee noted that the industry is expecting the shortage to reach a turning point by the third quarter. NIO also mentioned in its earnings release that it began the planning and building of a new plant in Jinkou Industrial Park in Haifa, which will help it to secure sufficient production capacity. So NIO expects to deliver between 21,000 and 22,000 vehicles in the next quarter. It also expects revenues to be about 8.1 billion in the next quarter, representing a year-over-year increase of 119 to 128%. So yeah, so that's that for that report on NIO. Like I said, it was not a bad report. It was actually a really good report in my estimates and my kind of understanding. But obviously, INSS, just dumped. Damn. I was looking at that for a short, but anyway, we're talking about NIO, so let's look at NIO. But yeah, I was looking at that for a short earlier today, and it did exactly what I thought it would do. Anyway, so NIO, when you look at the overall chart, so let's look at the daily chart. Go to the 6-month daily chart, right? And really, what you're gonna see is this growth, right? From last year, you just had this huge rip, right? This rip up showing that EV was going to kind of take over as Biden came in, and we had this transition. It was this huge, like, okay, EV is going to take over, and you had this huge ramp up, and these companies started to produce good earnings. They started to show you that they're legit companies that are actually going to be able to compete in the vehicle manufacturing business. So then people started to realize that, hey, this is actually looking pretty good. So what did we have? We had this ramp up to $60. So this kind of speculative kind of ramp pre-election kind of ramped up to this $67 area. And that's going to be our area of big time resistance. Is going to be that 67 to 70, in between 67 and 70, with 67 as the bottom, 70 as the top. That range is going to be your hard resistance at the top of this chart. And you can see this downward trend that it's kind of been on, right? So it really is going to need to break up above this kind of $43 level till we get really bullish again, and we'll remain bearish on it. But when you look at the overall chart, you're going to see that this level of $31, between 31 and 34, is an area of hard support. So there's heavy support in that area, and there's a lot of buyers stepping in. So anytime this whoa, what happened there? That is nuts. But anyway, anytime you're going to have these big ramp ups, or these big sell-offs, they're always going to kind of go to this area, right? This 32, this 31 area, right? We had this big sell-off back here, right? And when you see the bottom here, it basically went to, I think that one hit, okay, that wasn't the low. But anyway, if you go back, a few weeks, you kind of had this bottoming out around 34. Right, it really bottomed out after this huge sell-off. It kind of oversold off down to 31.90, and that's going to be your hard bottom. So our hard level of support here is our 31.50s to the $32 range. That's going to be your bottom of support. If that breaks, you're going to want to be very nervous, and you might want to get out of your position. But that's also where you want to be kind of buying close to that. But below 34 and between 32 and 34 are going to be your levels of hard support. As you can see, as it comes down to those levels, there's just huge buying. And this here was, like I said, this was the sell-off, right? But as this sold off and started to push into that level, right, you can see nothing but buying volume, nothing but buying in here, right? So if this, as you can see today, is getting down, back towards that $38 level, as it kind of went up towards 43, and then now it's ripped back down. We want to kind of be buying in that below 35. Anything below 35, we kind of want to be acting as support, which, as we see from the overall chart, that should be holding as support. So, if we can get a dip to 32, that's going to be your big area of support, and under my opinion, would be the best area to buy. But obviously, this is just my opinion. It's not trading advice. Take it from what you will. But from an overall strategy, we can see the support forming down in the low 34s and the resistance forming between 67 and 68. So that would be my target range for this stock, right? If I'm going to be getting in towards the low 30s, I want to be selling into the high 60s, and that will be my kind of range for this stock. And that's a 100% increase. If you buy at 32 and you sell at 64, you just made 100% on the stock, right? So that's what you want to be thinking about, and that's how you want to be targeting this. But if you're going to get a run up to 50, I would be taking profits, right? Because this thing has had a tendency to sell off. Or if you're looking for short-term moves, you could probably get a bounce. As you've seen, we got a bounce today off of this 37 low, and then it bounced up to 38. Now we're kind of getting this chop. And this is what NIO tends to do. It tends to kind of chop in these ranges. But as long as it holds above 34 and kind of that hard 32, then we're going to have a good area of support and a good area to go long. So that's my analysis on NIO. For the technical analysis, I just went over the kind of fundamental analysis for what I think of the company and what you're looking to kind of what they're looking to do over the next few quarters, and if they're able to kind of meet those demands and able to kind of overcome the chip shortage, then we could see NIO back to previous highs, right? And if you're talking about long term, over the next few years, I see NIO probably going to 50 to 70, even maybe to 100, right? Just look at what Tesla did and understand that Tesla is making more money from Bitcoin than they are from selling their vehicles. Just like, this is the difference, right? NIO is able to make money from selling their vehicles and good money from selling their vehicles. So that's just what you need to consider. And one of the reasons why NIO might have advantages towards Tesla, but obviously Tesla is the kind of dominant EV company today. And if you want the kind of number one company in the EV space, then it's probably going to be Tesla. And my cat freaking out at me. But anyway, that's going to be that for this video, guys. That's going to be that for my stock pick of the week. NIO is the stock. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this stock pick, and let me know if you got what you guys think about NIO. What are some of your price predictions? Are you guys holding? Are you guys looking to buy, or are you guys shorting it? Let me know what you guys think. What's your overall kind of thought about the stock? Here's my kitty, so she's coming up to say hi, and that means that I should probably end this and yeah, give her some attention. But anyway, let's see what NIO does over the next week, but I think we're gonna see that 34 hold, like I said, and look for a move back up to above 40. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.